Today on Roy's Game Table we have Legendary Heroes of Asgard expansion. So pull up a chair and let's see how it plays. So today we have the Legendary Heroes of Asgard expansion. And in that expansion, one of the masterminds you get is Malekith the Accursed. So that's who we're going to be playing against today. And Malekith always leads the Dark Council. Now, I'm going to be playing a solo game today. And in the solo variant, you can ignore the always leads. But I do have the Dark Council over here in the villain deck. So I just wanted to do that. I thought there's only 2 villain sets that come in the expansion. And I wanted to use one. So I just decided to let him lead the Dark Council today. And so his Master Strike says, Malekith captures a villainous weapon from the city or from any player's control or discard pile. Then this Master Strike enters the city as a villainous weapon called Dark Spear that gives +2 when you +2 strike. And when you gain a Dark Spear weapon, it becomes a thrown artifact that gives +2 damage when thrown. And so, I know that's a lot to talk about. There may be some key words you're not familiar with, but I'm going to talk about what villainous weapons are when they come out and when it happens in the game. And the same thing with thrown weapons, thrown artifacts, excuse me. I'll talk about what thrown artifacts are when they come out. But that's Malekith and his Master Strike. And now, the scheme he's going to be doing today is Asgardian Test of Worth. And it has 11 twists. And twist 1 through 7, when they come out, each player who is not worthy discards a card. And then, if at least half the players rounded up are not worthy, put this twist next to the scheme as a moral failing. And then twists 8 through 11, when they come out, it doesn't matter. They go next to the scheme as a moral failing. And then evil wins when there are 5 moral failings. And so I do want to talk about what the worthy keyword is today because that's very important for the scheme. And to be worthy, you have to have a card in your hand that's worth 5, cost 5 or more. And so you can see here there's a Thor card that's worth 5 or more. And the rest of them aren't. So the only way it can be worthy off the current cards in the hero HQ is to buy this Divine Lightning from Thor. So I'm going to want to try to buy 5 cost cards early and as often as I can so that when a scheme comes out, a scheme twist comes out, I will be worthy and I won't have to discard a card, but even worse, if I'm not worthy, I'll have to put the scheme twist next to this scheme as a moral failing and 5 of them makes me lose. And so having a worthy card in my hand keeps that from happening. So that'll be one of my goals of the game. So that's Malekith the Accursed, that's his scheme. In the deck, as I said, I do have the Dark Council villain set. That's what we're going to be playing with today. And also for the henchman group, I chose the Thor core, which does not come in the Heroes of Asgard, but I thought it would be thematic and appropriate, so the Thor core is going to be in there. Okay, so I've got my starting hand. Let's go ahead and see what the first villain card is. And it's a scheme twist. We start right off with it. So, as you know, each player who's not worthy has to discard a card, which I'm not worthy, so I'll discard one of my shield troopers because I can't hit anything anyway out in the city. And so, because if at least half the players rounded up are not worthy, which obviously I'm the only player, so I'm not worthy, I have to put this next to the scheme. And if I get 4 more, I lose. And then in the solo variant, whether or not you know, you have to, when a scheme twist comes out, you put a card in the HQ under the hero deck and then replenish it. And I've got 2 of these winged helms, so I think I'll go ahead and just put one of these underneath and refill. And now it's my turn. I've only got 5 cards because I had to discard from the scheme twist. But I do have 4 recruit. I'm going to take this Hogan the Grim because he's 2 recruit, which I'm going to want to be able to get recruit to get these 5 cost cards. And if you play a fist ability first, he can KO card from hand or discard pile. So I think that'll be good. I'll discard my hand, draw up a new hand of 6, which just so happens to be my starting deck in this case. And it's going to be the same thing. We're going to have 2 shield troopers and 4 agents. Okay, I'll replace the card that came out. And then the next turn, is a Thor core. Okay, so that's the henchman group that comes out. I've got 4 recruit and 2 strike. I think I'll go ahead and spend 3 of the recruit for this Fandral the Dashing, because it gives 2 strike, but also it works off the other card I bought last turn. So I'll go ahead and get that. And I can't hit anything. I only have 2 strikes, so I'll just discard, shuffle up, and then draw a new hand of 6. Okay, new turn. And it is a Scheme Twist again. So I have to discard a card. I've only got 1 strike, so I'll just discard that. And I'll have to put the Scheme Twist next to the Scheme as a moral failing. And then I'll put a card of 6 or less underneath the deck. I've got a 7 and 8, so I can't mess with those. I guess I'll put this Winged Helm underneath. All right, so my turn. I can buy. I can actually buy a 5 cost card, and I think I'll go ahead and get Thor for 5. All right, and then draw up my new hand. Okay, new card, and it's another Scheme Twist. Well, this time I actually have enough to get that henchman group, and I don't have enough really to recruit much. I'll just discard a Shield Trooper and stack the twist next to the Scheme. That's 3, 2 more, and I lose, but there's not much I can do about how the cards are coming out. And I put a card of 6 or less underneath the deck. I'm going to put this Volstagg the Valiant underneath the deck. I know he's a 6 cost, but I don't want too many expensive cards out in the market. So on my turn, I've only got 2 recruit. I've got 4 strikes. So I guess I'll go ahead and hit this Thor core. And when you defeat a Thor core, you get to gain it as a hero. And then I'll use the 2 recruit to get a sidekick, and it's going to be Lockheed. Okay? So I'll discard and draw back up to 6. Okay, new turn. And it's a Master Strike. And so the Master Strike is, again, that Malekith captures a villainous weapon, but there are no villainous weapons in the city. And so then this Master Strike enters the city as a villainous weapon. But now villainous weapons, what happens is when they enter the city, they go in underneath a villain. And if there are no villains in the city, you KO it. Well, there are no villains in the city. So the only thing that I know to do with this is to KO it. So that's not going to hurt me too bad. But in the solo variant, the Master Strike, you do have to draw another card. And so it's going to be another Scheme Twist. And I do not have a card that costs 5, so I'll discard a Stormtrooper and stack the Scheme. So I've got 4 Schemes next, 1 more, and I lose. Okay, so it's back to me. And I do have 5 recruit here. So I think I'll just get this Weapons Master, Lady Sif. And I hope I can start getting some 5-cost worthy cards out. Next card. And it is a Thor core. Good. So, because if it was going to be a Scheme Twist, I'd have already lost the game. Because I don't have a 5-cost card. I do have, let's see, I have 2 attack and 2, 3, 4, 5 recruit. Unfortunately, there isn't anything that's worth 5 out there. Well, I'll get this Thor for 3 and a sidekick for 2. And then I'll discard all my cards and draw back up to 6. Okay, next card. And it is Cinder Fire Giant Queen. If you fight her and you're worthy, you get +2 recruit. Okay, and she's 5 attack. So I do have a worthy card in my hand this time, so that's good, but I didn't need it for the Scheme Twist. But here's how I'm going to play it. I just wanted to let you see what's out. I think the first thing I'll do is play this sidekick. So I'll put it at the bottom of the sidekick deck and draw 2 cards. Okay, a recruit and a attack. All right, and then I'm going to play I'm going to play Divine Lightning Thor first for 3 because I want to do Lockheed next. Because if you play a ranged character first, Lockheed gives you +1 damage. So that'll be 3 attack from him. So that's a total of 6, 7, 8, 9 attack. Let me just get a die here to mark that. So I have 9 attack. And 3 recruit. So I think what I'm going to do with the 9 attack, that's enough to hit Malekith. I think I'm going to go ahead and do that. So let me get Malekith. Because I'm already got 4 out of 5 moral failings. I need to try to hit him as early and often as I can now. Alright, and it says fight, rescue 4 bystanders. Okay, let's do that first. So the normal one. And then Sunspot. When you rescue this bystander, gain it as a hero. So that's 2, 3. So 3 normal ones, and then that hero. And then Malekith captures a villainous weapon from the city or from any player's control or discard pile, which there are none. And then this tactic enters the city as a villainous weapon. Okay? Now, when a tactic or something, a villainous weapon, enters the city, it always gets captured by the villain closest to the villain deck. And so that case is going to be the Fire Giant Queen. So now she's a attack of 7. Okay, so I don't have any attack left. I do have 3 recruit, which I guess I didn't fill in from last time, but I do have 3 recruit. And I gotta remember to put Lockheed at the bottom. I think I'm just gonna get another sidekick. It's gonna be Hairball. Draw a card, put this on the bottom of the sidekick stack. Okay. All right, the next card is a Scheme Twist. I'm not worthy, so I have to discard a card. Put the Scheme Twist next to the scheme, and I have 5 moral failings, and that's the game. Not much I could do about it. I bought 5 cost cards as soon as I could. That's kind of how Legendary works sometimes. I've played this game before and I beat it. The same setup, but this time the Scheme Twist just came out too fast and I wasn't able to get the 5 cost cards in my hand. So that's the game. That's Legendary Heroes of Asgard, Malekith the Accursed, our Asgardian test of worth, and I certainly failed it because I was only able to hit Malekith 1 time for 1 tactic that ended up going into the city. So I lose, but I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, please consider to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for any future videos I may have. And until next time, I'll save you a seat at the table.